Слер за началото на музикалния час. 19 октомври, вие сте с Зирок с голи обяд. Аз съм Елена Розберг. Може би усещате по гласа ми, че съм развълнувана. Направих ви многократни анонси, че очаквам много специален гост за нашия рожден ден. 17 години Зирок в ефира на България. При мен в студиото вече от няколко минути е Дейвид Фрик. Добре дошъл, Дейвид.
Oh, well, thank you very much for having me here. It's a real honor and it's a pleasure to meet you at last. We've been doing email, but it's great to be here and it's great to be rocking with you here in Sofia.
Усмихна се и слънцето, за да ти представим София с така по-приятна, симпатична физиономия. Това първия път ли ти е в България?
This is my first time here, and I was very excited to be asked to be a part of this conference. Ruth Kaleva of So Alive. I've met her a couple of times at a festival in Denmark, and she spoke to me about, would you come to Bulgaria? Would you come to Sofia for this conference? And I thought, you know, it would be someplace new for me. I would get to hear new music, meet new people who are as excited about music and great journalism as I am. And I said, yeah, you don't have to ask me twice. I'm coming, so here I am.
Знаеш ли, Дейвид, преди да дойдеш с колегите, се чудехме дали твоята личност, ти самия си прототип на героя от филма Almost Famous.
Prototype of the character from the Almost Famous movie.
I wouldn't say I'm the prototype, but I know Cameron Crowe, who created the film, wrote the story, won an Academy Award for it. I know him very well, and he's a great colleague and a really great friend. And when I actually saw the premiere of Almost Famous in New York, when the film was done, I actually went up to Cameron and I said, you actually told my story as much as your own, you know, because it's about someone who loves music so much that they want to be a part of it in some way. And in this case, for Cameron, and this is true, this is his life starting as a teenager, he wanted to be a writer. He wanted to be there with the musicians, see how it was done, be a part, not just of the excitement, but of the process of the art of making great music. And that's my story as well. You know, I started out like everyone does, buying records, playing guitar, wanting to know more, you know, how do Mick and Keith do it? You know, what is it that the Beatles do that creates this music? Or Jimi Hendrix, how does he do it? And one of the ways to get closer was to ask questions and to ultimately be able to ask the musicians. And that's what Cameron was doing. That's what he does in the film. That's my story as well.
Значи ние все пак имаме така добро предположение.
We had a good guess.
Вчера нещо така забавно, предполагам и за теб. Вчера предложих на нашата публика един банд батъл. Трябваше да изберат между Дейвид Гилмор и Роджер Уотърс. Аз знам, че първият ти концерт, доколкото четох, е тъкмо на Пинк Флойд. За кого би гласувал ти и защо?
Who would you vote for in this band battle and why?
Okay. I actually know David and Roger. And I've interviewed them both. I went on the road with the Floyd. I went on the road with Roger. I actually just saw Roger a couple of weeks ago in New York. He did a playback of the new Dark Side of the Moon Redux, his new version of Dark Side. And my position is they're both amazingly gifted musicians and writers. David Gilmour is one of the great guitar players on the planet. Roger has written profoundly about issues like, you know, madness. Dark Side of the Moon is about going mad. and to write about, and he writes about humanitarian issues. I know that he's a very polarizing figure politically, but my feeling about Roger is that he's trying to reach, in his own strange way, to the humanitarian impulses that we all have and that we should all be expressing. I think they're both really gifted, and I wish to hell they wouldn't argue so much. You know, it's like sometimes the older rock stars get, the more they act like my parents. And you just wish that, you know, just cool out on the politics, the personal politics, and get it on together. If that's not going to happen, then I will support the art each of you makes in his own way. I have no skin in this game. That's a phrase that we have. You know, I'm strictly about the music, and if you guys can get it together, brilliant. If you can't, I'm not going to choose one over the other. That's not the way music works. And I will add that seeing Pink Floyd for the first time at my first concert was one of the most amazing experiences I will ever have, because they were actually, it was a show, it was a big outdoor show in Philadelphia, where I'm from, and it cost $1 to get in. This is 1968, so money was a little different then. But the headline act was The Who. There was the group Procol Harum, they were on the bill. There was another group from Canada called the Mandela who were on the bill. Pink Floyd were at the bottom. It was David Gilmour's first U.S. tour. And they were playing music from A Saucer Full of Secrets, their second album, which is one of my favorite Floyd records. And they were extraordinary. They played for 1 hour, and it was like top of my head went off. And it also made me realize how important live music is versus records. Records are wonderful. I've got about 10,000 of them. But I will take live music every time. And the great joke of that whole night was that the Floyd played, the next band, the Mandela played, there was a thunder and lightning storm, the guitarist was accidentally electrocuted. He wasn't hurt, he just got a bad shock. And that was the end of the show. They sent everybody home. But I got to see the Floyd.
И понеже Дейвид спомена, че за $1 е гледал тогава такива банди, които са чудовищно важни за историята на музиката, искам да го питам, не смята ли, че с билетите в настоящето за концертни преживявания, концертите стават едно елитарно преживяване? Elitist.
Almost exclusive.
The money that's involved is always a problem, because people need to get paid, and the cost of everything keeps rising. Things don't get cheaper. There is a problem in particularly going to see a certain sort of generation of musicians now, where ticket prices, they seem to just be too much for people. You know, we have real economic inequality in the world, and sometimes, and this is true like in Broadway theater in New York, where, you know, it costs $800 to see Hamilton. That's crazy money. But the thing that you have to remember is that if you can't afford to see the Stones, that doesn't mean you can't see something that might change your life at a bar down the street. You know, it's not the hardest part about trying to sometimes write about these, the legends, I'll just call them, is that, you know, not everybody can afford to go. But I know that for me, some of the best things that I get to see are, you know, just in small clubs or, just walking through Greenwich Village on a Saturday afternoon. Just last summer, I saw a band playing out in Washington Square Park. They're called Pan Arcadia. Great New York band. They're brand new. They were playing for free in the park. I'd never seen them before, didn't know anything about them. I dug it so much, I actually contacted them on their social media and said, look, if you've got some tracks, I'll play them on my radio show in America. And we got it on, we got together, they gave me the music, I played it on the air. They're talking to producers, they're playing outside of the city, they've been to LA. I'm actually part of something that's brand new. I love seeing the Stones. Any chance I get to see Robert Plant, I'm grateful for it. But I had just as much fun and just as much excitement about seeing this new band, Pan Arcadia, on a Saturday afternoon without any warning or expectation. To me, that's what the music's about. It's about discovering what's next. And if you can see the Stones, if you can see the legends, go, because that's why they're legendary. But if you can't afford it, then make your own elite. Make something new for yourself, because you don't know, in another 2 or 3 years, those guys are going to be the ones at Madison Square Garden, and you can say, you put them there.
Сега предлагам да чуем Stones. След малко продължаваме с Дейвид Фрик в студиото на Z-Rock. Не пропускайте. Вдъхновяваща среща с един от най-великите музикални журналисти на планетата. Сигурно не е силно така да обобщя. Приноса на Дейвид Фрик, който пък е при мен в студиото. Петко Кралев, да кажа още веднъж, и неговото име е с превода в ефира на Z-Rock. Какъв специален рожден ден си организирахме, благодарение и на Дейвид. Чухме Металика съвсем не случайно. Дейвид се познава много добре с членовете на бандата. Неотдавна отново ги е гледал на концерт. Той е правил сигурно многобройни интервюта с Металика, включително и в собственото си шоу по Sirius XM. Какви са новините около любимата банда? Те са изключително чудовищно популярни в България.
What are the news about the band? They're extremely popular in Bulgaria, by the way.
I got to see Metallica. I don't want to brag, but I've actually been interviewing and knowing the guys in Metallica for over, since 1987, 86. I actually saw them for the first time when they were opening for Ozzy on the Master of Puppets tour. So I got to meet Cliff Burton, which was the great late bass player. And we connected really well. I went out on the road with them for Justice and Justice for All, and then the Black Album and all the way through. And I just got to see them on the new tour in the States, which they call No Two Alike, which is they do 2 shows in the same city and venue and do completely different sets. And they were spectacular. They played a lot of the new album, 72 Seasons, and they sound as hungry and determined as they did when I saw them, playing Blackened and Justice in 1988, 89. Actually, one thing that I would add about this album, I did a radio special with Metallica back in the States for the new album for 72 Seasons, and in talking to all 4 guys, James, Lars, Kirk, and Rob, one of the things that came up was how much Kirk and Rob contributed to the writing. That it was a lot more collaborative this time around, because Rob and Kirk were bringing in really great riffs and ideas, which James and Lars, as the primary writers and kind of producers, they collate into the songs. And it was really interesting to then see the songs performed live to appreciate how connected they are as musicians, even more so than they've ever been. And it was interesting also, as someone who's interviewed them a lot over the years, on the first night in New Jersey of the 72 season show, No Two Alike, there was a little party after the gig, and lots of friends and management and folks I knew there, and the guys came in, and at one point I was talking to Rob, and then James came by to say hi, and he was with a friend of his, and he introduced me to her, and he said, "This is Дейвид Фрик. If you want to know anything about me, ask him, because he knows more about me than I do."
И понеже времето наистина се изплъзва между пръстите ми, искам да питам Дейв, смята ли и кое от неговите интервюта има историческа стойност? Аз знам, че си правил едно от последните интервюта, примерно с Кърт Кобейн.
Do you think there is an interview of yours that has a historical value, and which one is it?
To try to pick one is really, really hard. But I would say the one that seems to affect people the most would be the interview with Kurt Cobain, because that loss was so shocking, and it really shattered people. And to have that conversation be one of, really his last major interview, and to have that, for me to have that opportunity to talk with him at length, and actually to talk about music as well as his life, and how the music came from his life, and how his life informed that music. It's an important document, and I don't say that as the guy who did it, who had the interview. I'm saying that as someone who has heard so much back from other people about how important that interview was to them. And that's the best thing about the work I do, is that I can be of service to other people, to people who love music, who love these artists, and who maybe are just learning about them and seeing even these interviews for the first time in a library or online or wherever the hell they find them. If the work can stand and resonate that much, then I feel I'm doing in my way what the musicians have done for me.
Може би един от последните ми въпроси към Дейвид е свързан с това как успява да овладее фенството си, чувството на симпатия, на страст към даден музикант. Позволява ли това да влияе върху интервютата му и налага ли си от някаква гледна точка автоцензура, когато прави рецензии и пише такива исторически есета към дадени издания?
I know I'm there to work. So when I'm interviewing someone, if I'm covering a gig, whatever it might be, I know I have a job to do, and I'm responsible not only to, say, the publication, if it was Rolling Stone or Mojo, or if I'm doing liner notes, I'm responsible not only for that, but I'm responsible to whoever's going to read it, and to be able to give them a picture of what I'm experiencing, because it's like I'm out on the front, like in wartime, and I'm bringing the news back to the people who can't be there. And so I need to do the job. At the same time, I know how lucky I am. And I know that for me to sit in a room with Keyt Richards and have him know my name. He'll just, "Hi Dave, how you doing? Nice to see you again." That's a pretty amazing feeling. But it also shows that they appreciate that I've done the work, that I kind of earned the right to have that kind of excitement, because I also made sure that when I went in, I was there to do the job right. For them, for the music, for whoever was paying me, and for the readers, because that's how I felt when I was reading about the Stones and reading about the Who and the Allman Brothers. That was what I needed, and so I need to bring that back for everybody else. I am definitely a fan of music, but I know I'm doing the work, and the best part about being a fan is having a chance to do the work.
Как е Ози? Съвсем на финал да питаме. Знаеш ли?
Ozzy, do you know anything right now?
I guess Ozzy, he was supposed to be at this Power Trip festival out in California, and I think health issues didn't allow him to make it. The result being they got AC/DC instead, so, not a bad bargain. I think one of the things is that the artists are getting older, and they've got to deal with the same thing that everyone else does. So I understand that he really was unhappy about not making that gig, but if he can do it again, he will. And that's what musicians do. Keyt Rичардс tells me this all the time. He says, look, this is what I do. I'll stop when essentially God tells me to stop. Other than that, tell me where the next gig is.
Предполагам, че и с Дейвид е така, вероятно...
This applies to you as well. You're going to do the job.
That definitely applies to me. I'm going to do it until I just can't stand up anymore.
Ще го правя, докато не мога да стоя на краката.
And even if I can't stand up, I'll sit down. If I can get there, then it's going to happen.
Ако мога да стигна там, ще се случи.
Ще помоля Дейвид за поздрав към нашата публика, която е с нас целият този час на вълнуващ разговор с един от водещите музикални журналисти и легенда в света.
Thank you everyone out there for listening to me and these stories. Elena, thank you very much for having me here. It's a real honor and a gas to be in Sofia, to be in Bulgaria, and to be on Z-Rock, because Z-Rock totally rocks. And I'm really happy to be here. So thanks for bringing the music, and thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Може ли само да го помоля за ID, за Z-Rock? Махам фона.
Can you make an ID for Z-Rock?
Sure. You are listening to Z-Rock in Sofia, Bulgaria. Get close to the radio and turn it up.